Hello YouTube. This is the second YouTube video of the day, probably the last one. I'm probably gonna stream Rust because there's like a wipe going on today. I forgot about that. But again, we are a little over 12 hours out from the Uzi drop, so I'm just gonna give you guys some content in the meantime. Obviously, that video probably won't come. Those videos probably won't come out until like evening tomorrow and probably afternoon of Saturday. We're going to be doing a two-part because there's no way I'm listening to 25 songs in one video. It's probably going to be like 40 fucking minutes long if I do that. So we're going to break it up. We're probably going to listen to like 15 out of the first part and 10 in the second part. So, yeah. Either that or we'll do like a 13, 12 so the videos are kind of even. I might just do that so I don't have to work as hard on one video. But we have Dexter. I'm sorry. I'm so excited about Uzi. I have to keep talking about it. The summary. We kind of talk about it a little bit. So, Dexter's Hannah on his boat giving her a fast, choppy ride, and we kind of learn about Hannah that she's like afraid of the water and whatnot, so that's kind of an interesting thing. She's had some traumatic issues with like her dad throwing her into the pond and shit. Due to the hitman's attempt on Isaac Sherko's life, he and Jurg Yeleshkovich, whatever, move out of Victor's apartment and hide out at a new location because, they're coming to get him. Isaac appears at Dexter's door and tells him that the Koshkas have sent two men to kill him, and he's like offering Dexter to like help him. Like he wants Dexter to help him. Not offering Dexter to do shit. Like obviously Dexter doesn't want to do shit like this, but he's like giving Dexter. I guess he's giving him kind of an offer. I mean, there's not really any benefits to it, but he has Hannah hostage. A fully burned corpse is found inside a vehicle on a public street. Now, this is kind of a random part of the storyline, and I'm not really sure why they added this. Maybe it's a preview for, like, next season's villain or some shit. I don't know. I'm really excited to see what this show goes in its, like, final season of its original series. Obviously, there's, like, a sequel or, like, a prelude or whatever with, like, one season, but I'm really excited to see what they do next season, now that we kind of know how this season is going to flesh out, or do we? I don't know. While still at the crime scene, Dexter takes Deborah aside to discuss what she said the other day about being in love with him, and this is probably not the right time, right place to be discussing this. Dexter said, I'm glad you said it, and Deb's like, how? Like, what the fuck? It's like the weirdest thing ever. Dexter said, because on some level, I've always felt the same way. Deb said, you don't have to do this. Dexter, like, realizes he has to in the situation. Like, yeah, he does. And Deb's just like, Dex, what the hell? And Dexter says, it's okay. It's okay to, like, love your brother in that way. I mean, it is weird. It's like an incest type of thing, but sometimes you get so attached that, like, you like the qualities out of a person like that, I don't know. And, like, Dexter brings up this M&M's thing, and Deborah's kind of like rolling her eyes at him, and Dexter said, I'm trying here, just hear me out. Deb's like, why should I hear you out? Dexter says, unless you consider everything we've been through. It's a pretty logical thing, like what's happening here. Deb said, same road, very different cars. Dexter said, Deb, we've always been the one constant thing in each other's life. I mean, no wonder you kind of like fell for me in that weird way. I don't know. She's had so many fucking struggles and shit. Okay. Sorry. Deb's like, please stop saying it. Stop saying what I said. Dexter said it's gonna be fine. Deb said no, it's not. Dexter said it's logical. Deb is just like realizing this, and she can't like accept the truth. Dexter said it should make you feel better. Deb says it does. So their talk is interrupted when Dexter receives a text message from Hannah. Yeah. So Dexter arrives home and sees Hannah's van, and now Isaac's fully going on with the plan. He's taken Hannah hostage. So, yeah. At his hideout, Isaac tells Dexter what kind of killers he is dealing with. He kind of gives a background because he wants Dexter to kill these people. He knows that's kind of his game. And, yeah. he wants him to do it. So at her beach house, Dexter asks Deb to call off the 24-hour surveillance on Isaac because they're working together, and Deborah's starting to kind of like understand what he's doing. So in a way, like he thinks she's probably going to agree, and I mean she does end up coming around to it. Maria LaGuerta is checking out Thomas Matthews' boat when he suddenly opens a door, startling her. You know, she's kind of investigating that, like, cove. I'm bouncing around, like, that marina. She's kind of investigating it because all the police officers are former Miami Metro staff on the list. She kind of has to question so she can clear this up and, like, find closure, even though it's not an official thing for the department. But yeah, Dexter is shooting at the same firing range where Oleg Mikic is testing out his new rifle. He's testing out his new rifle. And this is where Dexter kills him. He shoves a knife into his back, covers his mouth, and he gets away with it. Which doesn't really make that much sense, but sure, it's Dexter. Deb texts Dexter, and he meets her in the parking lot of the Queen's Wharf restaurant. You know, talking about like the plans about Isaac and what they're going to do and shit. So Caffrey drops by the foxhole, concerned that he can't reach Mikic, and he's going to talk to George because that's like his main employer now. Like Isaac Shirko's kind of separated from the Koshka Brotherhood. It kind of turned on him for some reason. Dexter drops by Isaac's hideout, demanding proof that Hannah is still alive. He's like, you know, I killed one of them, but I need to know that Hannah is alive. So I'm not doing this for no fucking reason, you know. And they talk, and Isaac's like, likewise, like that was kind of a weird moment. But at the foxhole, George orders Nadia to change her clothes so he can take her to the Viceroy Hotel to have sex. I mean, she's a fucking object. Like, you're a stripper. Like, you can't really have a stable relationship as a stripper. That's pretty rare, you know. So although I disagree with George doing this, she's a damn stripper. She does sexual favors for people anyway. Dexter sees in Isaac similarities to how he felt after Rita died, and he is not sure if he'll be able to recover if Hannah is killed. You know, Isaac kind of gives him like this wisdom, and like, you care about this woman. Don't just say likewise to her and shit, you know. While Dexter scrutinizes the screenshot he took of Hannah, he spots a soccer ball behind her that is signed by Juan Pablo, a Colombian soccer player, and you can only assume at this point that it's one of the Colombians that Isaac killed, because you can't just stay in a Colombian house if they're alive and you're part of the damn Koshka Brotherhood. Dexter is called to the university where there is another burn victim, and this is just such a weird situation. Caffrey shows up to the scene, and you almost think that he fucking did it. You know? Blah, blah, blah. You know, this isn't really important in the main storyline, so I don't want to talk about it too much. Dexter takes Deborah aside and tells her that Hannah is likely being held at the home of one of the 3 dead Colombians, so they need to go through, look through the documents, and try to save her from this. Joey Quinn surprises Nadia at the club and notices her nervousness, you know. She finally admits that George pressured her to have sex with him. Is it really thundering outside? Yikers, okay. George pressured to have sex, blah, blah, blah. Hannah, bored with eating cornflakes, offers to make fried green tomatoes for Jurg and herself. And he picks some out in the garden, makes them go outside. Jurg, what a fucking dumbass you are. Holy shit. Deborah learns that one of the murdered Colombians was single, and she heads to his house in Coral Road, which is where Hannah is being held. Caffrey follows Dexter to the Fearless, and is about to attack Dexter from behind with a knife. Isaac calls out, because the plan is Dexter gets Caffrey to follow him, and then Isaac Shirko follows suit, and they're able to kill Caffrey. And yeah, they throw his body overboard, and yeah. So as LaGuerta is buying a cup of coffee at Ocean Promenade, Matthew shows up. He just can't leave her alone about studying his boat, even though she's a part of Miami Metro. She has a decent amount of authority to at least inspect it from the outside. As Hannah is serving the food, Jurg says Isaac hasn't checked in yet. If anything has happened to him, it would be a shame to have killed you after such a lovely meal. And he chokes, you know, she puts a bunch of pepper in it, which, like, holy shit, Hannah is so fucking smart for that. And yeah, she makes him choke on the pepper. Dexter lingers on, and like this whole struggle happens, and they end up both passing out on the floor. I'm pretty sure Jarek dies. I think. I don't know. Dexter lingers on the ship to hose off the blood. You know, he runs into George. Isaac runs into George. George shoots him in the gut, and Isaac says he's pretty much dead at this point. So yeah, take him out of the water. Deborah discovers Hannah bleeding out in the Colombian's house. She finally shows up to the scene. She calls for an ambulance. All this shit. On the slice of life, Isaac asks Dexter why he is absolutely fearless in the face of death and yet so afraid to live. So Dexter kind of has this cold persona, and everyone is like really confused about it, you know? That's predictability, blah, blah, blah. So, as Dexter interviews Hannah in the hospital, she doesn't conceal her dislike and distrust of her. You know, Hannah asks Deb why she didn't just leave her to die, and Deb says she was doing her job. Dexter arrives and rushes to Hannah. She assures him that she's fine and only needed 12 stitches. She's gonna live. After Deb leaves, Dexter tells Hannah that he's only been this scared twice before, seeing his mother murdered and realizing he might never see Hannah again. As he lies next to her, he says, "All I know is that when I'm with you, I feel safe." So again, you know, this like kind of romantic relationship is building between these two, and it's just gonna keep going and going and snowballing up till the end of the season. I don't know how long it's actually going to last. I would like to see it last into season 8 because a lot of Dexter's mates don't really last. But yeah, I know I kind of summarized it, but again, it's almost an hour of television. I'm not going to sit here for an hour, scene by scene, dialogue by dialogue, tell you guys what happened. You guys kind of got the idea in 12 minutes. So leave a like, comment, subscribe. I believe that's all the YouTube content I have for you guys today. Really no point in doing any 2K gameplays, especially with that new season coming out tomorrow. And yeah, we'll probably do like a Curry gameplay tomorrow. Like I wouldn't mind doing 3 videos tomorrow, but today it's just 2K's not. It's kind of like that intermission between season 7 and 8. So yeah, catch me tomorrow for 3 more videos. Uzi